Thanks for having us here. You're the owner or the manager?
I guess you could say manager, but we do everything from janitorial services to design and production stuff.
Here at BBI?
Yeah.
Okay, when you do...
So I run the place, and then I do all the CAD design and engineering special projects now.
Are there different locations for BBI?
No, just here.
It's just here. Okay, cool. So, I asked myself, BBI, you do like customer racing service or more like tuning road cars, or can you specify, or it's more about the develop? I saw your wheel hubs and the crazy stuff you do on the machining side.
Yeah.
So it's
everything. We do everything from like oil changes to Pikes Peak race cars. So everything in between.
But what's the biggest part? Like I own let's say a 991 turbo. I can bring it here and say, okay, I want 1,000 horsepower and use.
Yeah, I think the bread and butter is like the most of it is somewhere in between. Right up to having to build an engine to go past 800 horsepower to like the 1,200, 1,300 horsepower beast. And these two cars, the white car up there, just all high horsepower machines and built either for road course or half mile racing. And then we can offer customers anything from like small upgrades to lowering it, coilovers to like full on crazy builds.
Okay. And the developments for wheel hubs, from where do you get the ideas for those products? Because there is a problem, an issue.
Yeah, so like the wheel hubs for the early cars, they're 20 some years old now, right? So there's things that have been improved since then, and they were all designed for a specific ride height, specific setting. Right now, people like to run them lower. They have more options for coilovers and things like that. So then we say, why keep band-aiding it? Why don't we just we can 5-axis machine parts, we can 3D scan, we can reverse engineer the whole car.
Do you have like a wheel hub close here?
I think because it looks some out. I mean, I might have some printed that ones up front, but yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Because they're really beautiful.
I have more on the CNC machine, but they're not here yet.
The CNC parts that they look very like CNC erotic stuff.
Yeah. So this is a 3D print of the pre-production prototype. So this is the final geometry before we went to CNC.
You printed
and this is like a version of earlier version, so you can see it's really close to like the original factory design. And then we're like, well, we're doing all this. So we said, blank slate, let's just go back and see, okay, people are going to be running these calipers, they're going to be running specific tie rods. We dropped the mounts for the shocks a little lower for more travel. So we kind of revised the car to be like, if it was made today, what would they want for geometry?
Okay, but it's for performance and not because I saw one of these and I think it was an air suspension car to drop it but still drive it because we have a problem with the drive shafts. Because when you get so low that...
It's more of the problem with the shock travel. So when on the original parts, when you drop it low, you'll have no travel. And so we give you a little more travel.
But the reason why you made these is more performance for the build.
Yeah, it rounds out the car. If the car at a lowered ride height has a lot of bump steer in it. So the really rare RS uprights correct that problem pretty well because it was already designed for that, and so we saw that they weren't being made anymore, and so let's make our own.
It's like a re-engineering.
It's re-engineered and a little optimized, and so
these are for 964?
964, 993. I think the 964 guys gets forced into 993 calipers, but most of them already upgraded that.
Yes.
So that's kind of the only thing.
Super interesting. I love this stuff, really. And you print them in-house?
No, not these.
Because this is really massive.
Yeah, just a...
And you install them, right? I mean, these are...
these are strong enough, maybe not to support the car, but enough to put the whole suspension together and then move it around.
But you can't drive it.
You can't drive it.
Okay, maybe you can show us a few of your project cars here.
Yeah, so these are just customer cars, high horsepower builds, and prepping them for a half-mile event. They're not entirely our builds, but they're, customers come to us to help them support a line.
So this is a 997?
997.1.
Okay.
Turbo S.
And it was just a regular Turbo S, and then you you gave your sauce, and then what's the power now?
I think it's like 1100, but to be honest, this isn't really our car. So
okay.
Actually, neither of these are our builds. They came here because the guys who do build them can't support them all.
Okay.
So then we're just like... We're the home base for some people who are not like this guy's local, that guy's local, but their builders aren't local, and so sometimes guys come to us and we kind of set it up.
Is made for automobile racing or is
so both of these are going to like half mile events.
Half mile racing.
So we've been building a lot of cars for I think the half mile is not as aggressive as a quarter mile
Yes.
because it doesn't have that stress on the car. But
It looks like it's more made for track, right? With massive
well,
ring
this
or
is
speed maybe.
it's a Turbo S with the GT2 RS Club Sport bumper and wing package
Okay, and a massive exhaust.
and a massive exhaust. Yeah.
That's crazy. And also made from titanium. Hast du das gesehen? Das ist krass. These colors.
Yeah.
One question. So the bumpers are aftermarket or is this?
No, that's a
like
GT2 RS Club Sport.
GT2 RS Club Sport.
Yeah.
So this is so expensive. You can buy a car from getting these parts, right? I mean, what's the price for these bumpers?
They're like 11, 12 grand.
Okay, that's cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, from Porsche.
Because I know the original GT2 RS parts, they are very expensive.
They are, but you know, well, maybe that was just the regular bumper, but the carbon one, I mean, it's like sub $15,000, right? But it's
Yeah, but it's a race car.
it's a race car.
It's not so popular like the GT2 RS street car, whereas crash risk a little bit.
Well, yeah, and then I think the street car bumpers are a little more complicated. They have a lot more like
Yeah,
plastic
yeah.
things. So then
Stiffness
this is
and-
just
yeah.
a simple carbon
Part, yeah.
skin, you know.
And the
that's it.
owner drives this daily as well, or just for the?
Maybe not daily, but it's street driven.
But
you know,
it's
That is street legal. Yeah.
it's street legal or it's
street legal. Yeah, like
Really?
that. Well, street legal.
Okay,
yeah.
street legal. Like you can drive it and you won't kill somebody, but
Right.
it's accepted. Right? So-
I mean, I think the non-street legal part is maybe a little loud, you know, but that's,
Little
that's
loud.
yeah.
Here is a little loud.
Yeah.
That's funny when you say that. That's funny because in Germany everything is so fucked up.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to change anything without
Well,
a certification.
in California as well now. so
Yes. But how is?
Other states are more relaxed. But
Yes, I
California-
heard about the EPA going crazy with when you do catalyst conversions when you as a shop offer it. So you don't have a problem with EPA if you like. I think these
We-
won't have a cat, right?
No, I mean, so these things are all done for track only use,
Okay.
right? So we make sure our customers try to stick to that. And then
Okay.
if somebody comes in and is like, well, I want to delete my cats or I want to do this, we just usually just turn them away because we want to make sure that we're staying true to the cars and staying true. And then these days, deleting them doesn't always yield the necessary results. You know, you can do a lot more before you get to that point and still have a lot of fun. You know.
That's true. And what about this car? Is this,
So this is
Edition.
yeah, it's a customer of ours.
Sonderedition willst du die, wenn du einen 918 gekriegt hast, hattest du die Option, dieses Auto zu kaufen.
really?
Ja, limited like the 918.
Yeah, I think this is the car you had to buy in order to buy the 918.
You had to buy or you had,
You had
the
to buy
option?
two cars.
Well, it was. I don't remember
I
exactly,
think it
but it
was
was like
an
one of those
option.
things. It's like a prerequisite, or it came with a thing, but like, or you got this before you got your other car,
Das ist voll,
and then you got to keep both or whatever.
Okay, das ist halt, du kaufst ein Auto für eine, what was the MSRP back
der
there
Preis war
for 918? A million or?
800 ein paar
Du
kaputt.
kaufst ein Auto für 800.000 und kriegst dann noch ein Turbo oben drauf.
Nee,
Ja, gut, das hat-
den hast du nicht dazu
Ja,
gekauft.
den musst du kaufen.
Den konntest du kaufen.
Okay.
Wenn du sagst, das dauert mir zu lange, ich brauche erstmal ein Auto. Dann fährst du mit so einem Auto und hast den natürlich für deine Collection und stellst den
Okay,
zur
but this
Seite.
is not electric, this is just a regular turbo.
No. It's just a special edition. So the you know the green accents is
Okay.
factory. All those little things. There's a bunch of stuff on the interior in terms of stitching and like the gauge cluster. It's all factory.
It's a collection car.
But it is a collection car. It's very, very. I've
And
never
this-
seen one outside of here. Really.
And this is stock or?
No, this has a built engine, secondary fuel. It's going to be like a 1,200 horsepower. Yeah.
Okay.
In Germany,
And-
you don't turn
single-
this screw. You don't
A
turn
single-
Oh,
it. You
yeah.
take it in your garage and
Or the museum.
Or
And
museum.
that's the sad story, or let's say that's what I love about the States, because you're not luck to kind of this stuff.
Not yet.
You have
Yeah,
such a
it's
special
getting
car, and you're still gonna do the tuning and
Yeah. And this car is designed, so the purpose of this is to be like a true multi-purpose thing. It's got the full tank, you know, like we have a fuel system in the original tank, secondary fuel with 1,200 horsepower, but like you start it, you won't know the difference, you know? And so it's perfectly daily drivable, civilized machine. Yeah. I'd say, you know, you asked what our forte was. I think it was creating things that Porsche cannot, but to the same quality level, right?
Okay.
So we're using really high-end materials, 3D printed Inconels and aluminum,
Yes,
titanium
Inconel.
stuff. We're using a lot of machine pieces. Everything is engineered for longevity and reliability.
Timon, take a look here at the suspension.
Yeah,
this
this
looks
thing
pretty expensive, and especially I think that's what you say
The
with
TTX
the
is in there, yeah.
with the whole axle here and the Öhlins suspension. Crazy.
Like that's a good example of how we do things in terms of.
I just saw the manifold
Yeah.
and fell in love with it because it looks.
So you guys, Germany has some of these things. Some builders, Europe in general, who like do the air-cooled ones really nice. You know, you know, you may say they may not touch the modern cars, but there's some people in Germany that do
But
really.
I mean, that's my opinion. Maybe Christopher can correct me, but in Germany, in general, 99% of the Porsches will never touched. I mean, if you have to exchange anything and you don't go original, you will be killed. I mean, from the scene, right?
Sure, sure.
I think it's the same situation here for some guys, but you have the other guys, and doing anything on a Porsche what's not stock.
In America, outlaw is cool. In Germany, outlaw is illegal.
Yes, yes.
Socially,
Yeah, socially.
Yeah,
because
socially.
the on the road that's a different story,
Right.
but socially, yeah. We just started a new project. I told Greg I bought a 1976 Targa, and it's turbo wide, so WTL optics, and we just got a 3.3 liter turbo engine, and yeah, this is one of our first Porsche project in the company, and we're trying to eliminate some major problems like with the gearbox, because it's a narrow car and
Narrow car with a narrow suspension, but we need a gearbox for a car, for an engine with a wide suspension. So that's a problem.
That sounds like a drive shaft.
Yeah,
It's an axle. You have to. Just
I mean for the axles, but also for the performance, for the power output, because the 914 or 915 gearbox won't
so it's.
handle it.
So this is a 993 based engine, but we remixed the 964s and the 993s to our own recipe. We're borrowing from the 997 a little bit. We're doing a lot of things with 3D printed intake manifolds.
This is printed.
Yeah, that's printed aluminum.
It will stay here printed?
We'll stay here printed.
It's
It's an end use part, yeah.
okay.
And it's printed by Pinkel out of Austria. So
Yes.
Kind of cool. But high flow heads, high flow cams, fuel system, full electronics.
You offer the fuel system? The EFI system?
Yeah, then we have the EFI system, the lower manifolds, everything is plug and play. I mean, it's designed for our system, but I guess it could be used universally as well.
Could this be used on the 3.3 turbo?
I think you have lower,
Just basically?
slightly different lower bases.
Yes, same problem like this is
The 2-bolt?
the 3-bolt. Yes.
2-bolt, yes.
We have
Yeah,
2-bolt, and
2-bolt,
this is a 3-bolt version, and we need a spacer for the longer pins.
Yeah, but I have to make 2-bolt versions anyway, so because we have some projects that are pending for 2-bolt.
That's interesting. So we keep in touch.
Yeah.
But because maybe, but we will start with the single circle body. So I saw projects where people do ITBs.
Yeah, so this is single right now, but the next wave is that we're replacing this with ITBs, and we're just gonna have a nice filter going. We're still retaining this because the Porsches have a resonance control problem that helps with this helps with, because we have the little flaps on the inside,
Yes.
and then we just keep going. So we have a car outside that's like development car that we've been, we rigged all this up. We've been putting on the dyno, reliability, drivability testing.
Cool.
Again, the idea is so that when the customer gets in the car, starts the car, doesn't really know any different except for the sound, right? But when they start driving it, then the experience starts to dial up.
Yes.
But the car has to feel like a factory car.
And you said this does 8,500 RPM and 400
It's just over 400 horsepower.
to the wheels.
At the wheels.
At the wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, just
No, sorry,
imagine.
at the crank.
At the crank, okay. But I can just imagine how it will sound and drive.
Oh, it's insane.
It's really insane.
It has the same feel as a 997 GT3. but
Take a look at the shifter. Yeah. Can I open it? Is it okay?
Yeah.
It looks
That seems
crazy. Serious, yes.
This car is like a 997, but it's in the 993 form. You know?
Yes. And you go with the ECU is an EMU, or what is it?
We'll work with anything from Bosch Motorsport to Motec to Mtron, depending on the application. So
Yes.
this is designed to be kind of a series production engine package. So we wanted to build, pick a computer that we can easily source that is workable for this application. It has a lot of flexibility. It's very powerful. It doesn't need to be like Bosch Motorsport.
Okay.
For things like the Pikes speed car, we'll go crazier with Motec and Bosch.
This is what I want to ask next. If you can give us some
Yeah.
details on the Pikes.
Porsche. Bevor wir mit dem spannendsten Auto anfangen, macht Christopher noch mal kurz einen Break hier.
First question of all, what do you scanning for it? Is this a model car or
No, so this is
a design?
So Banks Power came to us. They want to partner with us for 2024 Pikes Peak effort, and so the chassis will remain mostly the same. We're going to change the suspension a little bit. They're going to develop the engine for it because they're the diesel experts. And then we said, first things first, let's evaluate how it sits right now. So it was completely scanned inside out for a CFD study.
The basic car is a pickup truck from mid of 80s, huh?
No, it's like it's supposed to look like a late 90s.
Yeah.
But the chassis is based, I think, on a sprint car. So it's a full race car, tube frame chassis.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's nothing original.
But the optical meets this pickup truck. Okay.
And what engine is inside? It's a diesel or?
It's going to be it's a diesel now, and it's going to be a diesel. It's going to be Banks' creation from ground up, I think.
Do you know any specs like the displacement or?
No,
6 liters.
Yeah, it's going to be some 6 liter like tri-turbo, whatever, you know.
Euro
like
4.
3,000 pounds of torque, and then.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm saying.
Or?
No, it's probably going to be rear wheel.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make the service for it or?
Well, we're building the car. So
you build.
So we're gonna modify this, enhance it, make it better and faster.
Okay.
And this is gotta leave on Friday or.
Yes, can leave on Friday.
Yeah.
There's not so much work on it. That's okay.
So, ask your questions.
You make the service at Pikes Peak? You bring this car and make the service for it?
For something like this, we'll probably help them run it.
Yeah.
So we'll build it, we'll develop it, and then we'll support them throughout the whole thing. But it'll be like a dual team effort.
Okay.
Not like that where it's all on us.
So what is the difference between a race car like an GT3 RSR and these cars, the Pikes Peak cars, like aerodynamic brakes?
Most of it is aerodynamics, I guess.
Yeah, so like, the RSR would actually be a really great Pikes Peak car because it has a lot of aero.
Yeah.
The only difference is that like Pikes Peak is a much harsher condition on the track than like the track, so you would have to soften the car, raise the car. So when we build Pikes Peak cars, they have to be as delicate as a race car, but really robust because
like a rally car, right?
It's somewhere
like
between.
WRC
It's like a slider, right? Do you want to go more rally? Or do you want to go more road course, right? So then it's somewhere in between.
Du kennst Pikes Peak, sagt ihr? Also du hast auch verschiedene Untergründe, ne? Also nicht nur Straße, Beton, Stück, alles, genau. Also es ist schon.
That's a real challenge.
Yeah.
That's why Pikes Peak is still popular.
Yeah.
Talking about Pikes Peak, maybe you can give us a tour through this car. Hooligan. How did you get in touch? They just called you, hey, Dimitri, build me a nice car? Or?
No, so the concept of the car was...